Damn it, the mic was muted. I knew it was like, why are the comments going crazy over there? They're on the other screen. I should have them on this. Oh, they won't come over here. Damn. All right. Well, here I'll start all that crap over again. Sorry about that, y'all. I love it when you guys think I do that stupid stuff on purpose. Anyway, today's episode is about whether it's worth it to do organic content. I'm terrible at it. I don't do it consistently, but it still makes money, and I just want to take you behind the scenes. So thing number one is hopefully you can hear me at this point. All right, y'all, let me know if you can hear me. There you go. Okay, cool. There's a delay between the comments and real time, I think. Anyway, have you ever wondered if it's worth having a podcast? I always did, and I always thought it was stupid. But my friend Brooke Castillo's got one, and she owns the lifecoachschool.com, and she did like 36 million this year, which is obnoxious and insulting. She's a client that no longer needs me. I love it when my clients outgrow me. That means I've done a really good job. So now we just hang out and talk about stupid stuff. But she's got this podcast, and I think it's really her number one marketing vehicle. So she, along with another friend of mine named Carl White, kind of convinced me a couple of years ago to make a podcast. So I did, and I'm the worst podcast marketer ever because you probably don't know I've got one. But if you want to go to frankkernpodcast.com, you can, or subscribe to frank.com. They're both going to take you to the same place, which is where you can see old Kern's podcast, all right? And so that's here. But let me put you on the cooler page there. All right, so I think that's the one where you've got my ugly old head on there. Let me get that comment off. There we go. Okay, cool. So I've been running this damn thing for years. And so I've got 472 episodes. You can track, if you do podcasting stuff, you can track it in this, I guess there's various things you can use to do it. But I use something called Libsyn. And my friend Paul Culligan does my podcast for me. I pay him to do it, and he does a great job. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I just record stuff on my phone. I'm like, okay, it's podcast time, and then email him stuff. Or they'll take stuff from my other content and turn it into a podcast. But check this out. I've had 2 million downloads of this damn thing, which is pretty good, And so what you see here is a kind of a per episode download kind of a deal. And so that's kind of cool, So you can see I get roughly over time, so these are the new ones. But if we go back to, let's say, an episode that's a month old or something, you can see each episode over time gets 1,500 to, let's do another one here, 2,000 or so downloads. So after they're a couple months old, they, sort of each one builds up its own momentum, which is great. Now, what's cool about podcasts is you can put this thing in a podcast called a dynamic insertion ad, I think. You real podcasters are probably dude, you are so dumb. You have no idea what you're talking about. But it's a dynamic ad. So you can insert ads into all of your back catalog of podcast episodes. So I started doing that a while ago. And one of the things I put an ad in my own podcast for, obviously you should put ads for your own stuff, I think, in your own podcast, is I put an ad for my book bundle thing. So it's kernbookbundle.com. And I haven't really tracked it. So I'm going to show you some numbers for this thing that are probably pretty accurate. All right. So I haven't promoted Kern Book Bundle on social or in ads or anything for a week or something. So it's only promoted on the podcast right now. So this is moderately okay in terms of statistical accuracy, what I'm about to share with you. So here are the stats for that. And this is since yesterday. All right. So the reason I'm just showing you since yesterday, because I definitely haven't done anything in the past 24 hours or something to promote it. So it's probably, this is the result of podcast episodes. Let's hit refresh because sometimes that makes you more money. Maybe. In this case it didn't. Anyway, $659, which is pretty cool. 100 visitors. Great. I'll take it. And I really don't know how many podcast downloads I get per day. I guess if we do on a monthly basis, let's see here. Am I showing my screen to y'all? Yeah. On a monthly basis, if I look at these stats, where is it? Oh, dude. Okay. So we can do for the month of December. All right. So what's today? The 29th. So I don't know why it says 30th there, but maybe they're in another time zone or something. We can see what we've got here. Yeah. So on a daily basis, I'm getting I don't know. I guess on average, a couple thousand downloads per day. whatever. Math is not an exact science, right? So like that's a couple thousand people hearing that ad per day. And so this is what has probably the result of that. And again, I don't really track it, but still, dude, like if I did that every day, which it probably does do that every day, it's like 18 grand a month. Like, okay, it's not too bad. And I don't really try with the podcast. Like, I bet a lot of you guys are like, dude, I didn't know you had a podcast. I do. It's moderately good. Like, some episodes are great and some are terrible. Recently, they've been really good because I've been making real episodes, you know? So go check it out. Subscribe to frank.com or frankkernpodcast.com. Either way, it's just a page with podcasts and stuff on there. All right, so that's thing number one. Is podcasting worth it? The answer is yes. You know, and what's really cool about that, not only is it worth it from like, you can put the little ads in there and you can sort of see exactly what's going on. It's also worth it from an indoctrination perspective. People will binge, you know, and I don't know if you've done this, probably, because I think most people do. Like you'll get turned on to a podcast or whatever, and then you'll listen to 1,000,000 hours of it, and now you're a super fan. I've done that a lot. Like I did it with Joe Rogan, I did it with Dan Sullivan, and then turned around and gave Dan Sullivan a bunch of money, and I'm glad I did. I learned a lot from the process, you know? So I think it really facilitates that. And it's a good way to keep your brand alive, you know, which is important. You want to be in front of your prospects as much as possible, assuming you're delivering value. So now comes the question of, okay, you know, it's not that big of a shocker there about podcasts actually being beneficial. What about like posting videos and stuff on social? Okay, this is slightly better in terms of statistical accuracy. All right, so for the past couple of days, I haven't really aggressively promoted, what's the thing, the four things. I got up early this morning, so I can't remember. My brain's not working right. franksnewoffer.com. I haven't really aggressively promoted that on social. Like I went live yesterday, but I talked about something else. I made one post on Instagram, I think, with a link to it. No ads have been running to it. Actually, yes, ads have been running to it. But what I did was yesterday, check this out. This is like a rare moment of insight here. Yesterday, what I did, whoops, there we go. I like the one with my head on the thing, is I came over here to franksnewoffer.com and I had it forward to this tracking link. So see this, look, now it's on the screen, and what it's doing is it's showing that if someone goes to franksnewoffer.com, it forwards to this thing that shows the source as being organic, meaning they typed it in. Because when I run ads for this promotion, I don't send it to that domain name. All that domain name does is forward to one of these long ClickFunnels URLs. So my ads just go to long, weird ClickFunnels URLs. So now I can track it. So when you have like tracking stuff like this and you're using ClickFunnels, you can come over here and you can say, all right, show me everything that came from a tracking link with the source that says org in it, right? And so in this case, for today, and I made this forwarding like yesterday so I could track it, you know? So it's not really that impressive, but you never know. Let's hit refresh here. It's not really that big of a deal, but still oh dude, it worked. I hit refresh. We got more money. Yay. It's brought in $188 in sales for today. And what's cool about that is that this is probably the result of maybe a little bit of like what happened yesterday, because I put a social post up yesterday, but probably the stuff I've been telling you about forever, which is the reason content matters, aside from the fact that like if you do a good job and you know you're really diligent about it, or even moderately diligent about it, you can actually do some good in the world and help people. So aside from that, you know, the reason it's really a smart thing to do is because it freaking lasts forever. So what's likely happened, and the key phrase here is likely, what has likely happened is these visitors, and look, I only got 50 unique visitors. ClickFunnels does this weird stuff, by the way. We'll say like you got 1 billion page views or whatever, but you want to pay attention to unique visitors, right? So I got 50 visits or whatever today from it, but it's likely from people who saw like posts I made ages ago and said, oh, I wonder what this is about, and then just like clicked it, and that was it. So again, this is just for today, right? Because I just turned that tracking on yesterday. But from a just dollars and cents standpoint, and granted, this is relatively, you know, like meh analytics. It's not like horribly scientific because it's so new, you know. And then the thing with the podcast is like I'm pretty sure those sales came from the podcast, but I don't have any special tracking on there or anything. I think it kind of shows demonstratively, conclusively, I don't know, whatever, for real, it shows for real that it's a pretty good idea to do content and stuff, and it's not that hard. Like, just turn on the camera or the recorder and start talking. With my podcast, dude, I literally just turn on the voice memo on my phone and start yapping. I mean, seriously, go and listen. Actually, these episodes are pretty good. I'm pretty proud of these, really. So if you go here, if you can't sleep tonight, go. If you go to subscribetofrank.com, I keep looking at the wrong thing on the dang camera. If you go to subscribetofrank.com, it doesn't matter what platform you're using. It'll, like, somehow through sheer magic, Paul Culligan did this for me. He's great. It'll redirect you to either Spotify or iTunes or whatever, depending on your device. It's kind of cool. But, like, this is a good one right here. This one I think is a very good one. Got a really good, great feedback from this. And these two, so like these most recent 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes, I think they'll help you a lot, actually. I really do. So they're pretty good. So anyway, I just figured I'd give you some behind the scenes numbers of that stuff. Nothing groundbreaking or whatever, but I always wondered, like where are the numbers behind these things? Like what directly comes from it? And we kind of know from this. Next time I create a dynamic ad, which is awesome because it literally goes, like check this out, dude. I've got 472 episodes. God help anyone who's actually listened to all 472. Like, they're probably like doing this, in the corner, like, oh, to make it stop, But like whenever you record one of these dynamic ads, it goes into all of your old episodes. You can change it out. It's the coolest thing ever. So next time I do one, I'll set up like cool tracking like I did with this stuff, so I can type in, whatever the tracking ID is and be like, okay, this definitely came from the podcast. All right, that's it. I just wanted to come to you and say, hey, what's up? Share some cool things with you. I'm either going to create a new branding class or a challenge about branding right around the 1st. Well, not on the 1st. It's my anniversary. It's my 9th anniversary, so I ain't working on the 1st. I know it's popular to do like some live thing and be like, let's set a goal for 2021. I'm going to set a goal of having a great marriage, and I ain't working on the 1st because that's my dang anniversary. But somewhere around there in the next couple of weeks, I'm either going to teach a very inexpensive branding class, kind of giving you an update on content creation and distribution and stuff, or do like a challenge or something. Haven't decided yet. But anyway, them's what's going on. All right, let's see here. I got to figure out, hang on a minute. Maybe I can do this. I'll say hey to y'all real quick. Okay. Michael says my website seems to be lagging. Of course it does. It always does. John Sinclair says challenges are popping off right now. Dude, I did one. And I did it 3 times. It always worked. It made a lot of money. I just got tired of doing it. I'm like one of those genius people with a capital J when like if something is working, quit doing it immediately. But dude, they work really, really well. The trick to a challenge, though, in my opinion, I've only done like 4 or something, so I'm by no means the expert on it, is you have to give people things to do where they really do see immediate tangible results in order for them to really be stoked. I think that's like kind of a thing. It can't be cerebral. But then again, I don't know. I've never tried to do the cerebral kind. My man Marshall from Georgia. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, sir. All right, man. It was nice to see all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I've lost my turn off the thing button. There we go. Okay. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night. I'm going to watch that movie Tenet, I think. About time travel or something weird. If I can stay awake anyway, I'm going to check it out. All right, man. Y'all holla. Bye.